on the plane headed to DC.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from the two of us up front. Welcome aboard. We're going to get you underway to DC here in just a few more minutes. We do have to make a quick stop to spray off the frost that's on the top of the wings. Should only take about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll have you on your way. Once we lift off, 1 hour and 15 minutes of flying time will be at 41,000 feet.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I gotta de-ice the plane, so it says that will only take about 10 minutes. And it'll be off.
Getting the plane de-iced. Every year for my birthday, we take a trip, and this year was no different. We decided to go to Washington, D.C. We attempted to brave the cold temps, but spent most of the time indoors at various museums. The Library of Congress, the American History Museum at the Smithsonian, and the Spy Museum were all on the list. We thought we scored tickets to the inauguration, which, well, we did, but we ended up skipping it because, once again, the frigid weather. So if you like American history, come along with us as we visit our nation's capital.
In the halls of Congress. I don't know where we are. The Longworth building. It's where the House office buildings. We're fixing to go pick up our tickets.
Did you get them?
Yeah.
Did they say anything?
He said they're moving it inside, but he doesn't know anything like what that means for these tickets or not. So.
Oh.
We just picked up our tickets to the inauguration. We're currently eating lunch at the Rayburn House, which is like where all the congressmen and congresswomen have their offices. So we're in the cafeteria getting some food. We're trying to kill time to go. We're going to the where are we going? Library of Congress at 2:30. So it should be a lot of fun. Excited to go to the Library of Congress?
I am, and you know why I'm excited? Because National Treasure is like my all-time favorite movie, and so I'm gonna go look for the President's book in the Library of Congress.
See if we can find it.
Whatever. Craig's making fun of me because I love National Treasure. I watch his movies over and over and over again, and I love DC. I love the whole pomp and circumstance, like American history. I love all of it. So that's what we're doing this week, is all the patriotic stuff, and bonus, we get to go to the inauguration. So I'm kind of excited.
What happened to the inauguration?
Actually, they just moved it inside. So we just found out when we picked up our tickets that they moved the inauguration ceremony inside. So we don't really know what's happening right now. We got to wait and find out where we're supposed to be next and what we're supposed to do. So yeah, today we're just like running errands, picking up tickets, and getting acclimated. It's really cold here, it's really cold here, but it is so hot inside. Like, these people are not going to freeze to death, let me tell you, because I know what's wrong with all of them. The reason they're so grumpy is because it's 100 degrees in this building. I told Craig if they would like turn the air on and get a little AC, they'd feel better, not be so grumpy.
Nation's capital, going to the Library of Congress. Find the book of secrets.
Shut up. I'm so excited.
There's multiple Library of Congresses.
What happened, Greg?
We went to the Library of Congress, but that was the wrong Library of Congress.
We were at Madison's Library of Congress, and we're supposed to be at Jefferson's.
Oh.
We didn't want to see Madison's anyway. So we got to go across the street.
The good thing is just across the street.
I had no idea there were multiple Libraries of Congress. As we made our way over to the correct Library of Congress, which happened to be the Jefferson Library of Congress, we couldn't help but notice this beautiful architecture. Our appreciation of the architecture in DC was a recurring theme because, let's be honest, American buildings just are not made the way they used to be. The detail, the grandeur, it's just absolutely beautiful. And yes, I was all up in my National Treasure feels. Jesus, there's always stairs.
first, when you go in the dome is art of a woman lifting a veil of ignorance from in front of her eyes. She's going to become educated and share her information with her children who are by her side. Next level down, colorful column, talking about the origin of the United States. Next level down, plaster figures of women representing the 8 major intellectual disciplines of the world. Final level down, bronze figures of men who did well in those areas. So when we walk in, above us and to the right is Ms. Art. Below her to the left, Michelangelo. To the right, Beethoven. Welcome to the Library of Congress.
So we just left the Library of Congress and decided to come back over to the Capitol. I think we're on the back side of the Capitol. This actually might be the front. Yeah, there's the Library of Congress right there. And we are right across the street of the Capitol. We have some time to kill before we go back home for the day, so can't miss these guys in a crowd. So we got our tickets, and I think we forgot to mention earlier that we found out they have moved the inauguration indoors. So it's actually going to be at Capital One Arena. Well, the inauguration itself, the swearing-in ceremonies, is going to be inside the rotunda of the Capitol. And then all of the ticket holders have to go over to Capital One Arena. And then President Trump is supposed to join us over there after the swearing-in ceremony. So kind of sucks we don't get to see like live, yeah. And last time, like, we got to see like the current president like flying away and stuff, like in the helicopter, which is kind of cool to see. But anyway, it also sucks because there is so much barricading put out, and I cannot imagine all the people that had to put up this barricade, and now they're not going to use it. Kind of sucks. As we were headed home for the day, our path to the subway took us by the National World War I Memorial.
Route to the center of the car. The next stop is Farragut West.
Alright, how many stops before we're home?
3.
Step back. Doors closing.
So we got Farragut West, and then Foggy Bottom, and then Roslyn.
Foggy Bottom? I want to get off at Foggy Bottom. That reminds me of Soggy Bottom, USA.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie? Did I make you watch it?
I don't think I watched the whole movie.
So bad, it's so funny.
You office looking dog out with that seat. Don't you do that, Judah. Don't you do that. Don't you do that, Judah. Oh, God.
To end our subway ride, we got on the longest escalator in the Western Hemisphere. It's located in Wheaton Station and is 230 feet long, and absolutely terrifying if I say so myself.
American History Museum.
So we have had a lazy day today and decided to sleep in, go to lunch. It's kind of dreary in DC. And now we're at the American History Museum at the Smithsonian. So I'm really excited about this. Now, of course, there's plenty to see inside the American History Museum, but one of our favorites was this exhibit about the Star-Spangled Banner. Due to a very delicate American flag that was housed inside this exhibit, we weren't permitted to film during most of it. After learning more about our national anthem and some early American instruments, it was time to move on to the history of American food. We even got to see an exhibit of Julia Child's kitchen. Up next was the evolution of American transportation with the most beautiful train cars and even a replica of a train station. It definitely transported you back in time. I think one of my favorite exhibits was the Hall of the First Ladies. They had everything from the dinnerware and how they decorated the White House to actual formal gowns that they wore for special ceremonies during their time in D.C. Good morning. We are in a lift headed into D.C. We actually just got into D.C. and we're going to go see Elise Stefanik's confirmation hearing. So we've seen all the museums and all the monuments in D.C., so we're like, let's do something we probably wouldn't ever get a chance to do. So we thought, let's go see something going on in the U.S. government. And since there happened to be a confirmation hearing today, we thought, we'll go check that out just for a little bit. So, but we do actually have tickets later for another museum. We're going to the International Spy Museum. So that should be fun. But it's very cold and traffic is crazy right now.
Yeah, I think it's like 10 degrees right now.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 10 degrees today, so wild. Alright, so we are outside of the hearing room for Elise Stefanik's confirmation hearing, but we just saw a big sign on the door that said no photography or videography, so looks like we'll have to show some clips from the news because we don't have press passes, so that's it. We'll see. We'll check back in a little bit after we go to lunch because I'm already hungry. I need a snack.
Yeah.
Hello, people. We just left the confirmation hearing for Elise Stefanik. That was interesting. It's kind of a snooze fest.
Yeah,
being
everybody
honest.
likes her, so.
Yeah, there was no fireworks, so it was really boring. So we decided to leave, and now we are at the visitor center of the Capitol. So
We're probably not going to do a tour, but we don't have that much time.
yeah,
We
we
gotta go to the
actually.
Spy Museum,
I'm excited about the Spy Museum.
but we came to see it anyways.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a quick little walk around the Capitol Visitor Center and then try to call an Uber. So. Alright guys, so now we're outside the Capitol. I know we were gonna go on a little tour inside, but the lines were extremely long, and since we're going to the Spy Museum, we just decided
We don't have time.
we don't have time. So we just hung out for a little bit in the little visitor center area, and then we came outside. We're headed to the Spy Museum, but we got a really pretty view of the Capitol right here, so we're just gonna share that. If you guys love American history, DC is the place
Yeah,
to be. It's so cool. It's so cool.
it's so pretty.
So I wish American architecture was like it used to be.
I know. Everything's like block buildings now. It's not made like it used to be.
I know, it's really pretty. So, okay guys, we'll see you at the Spy Museum.
Museum. Your visit begins in the briefing center, where you will receive your undercover mission. Are you ready to enter the shadow world? Enjoy your visit, but remember, we'll be watching you.
Okay, I know this should probably give me more of a Bond moment, but when I tell you I was having my national treasure moment, I was all in for this. This was absolutely the most fun thing we did the entire weekend. When you enter the museum, you're given a key card. Throughout the stations at the museum, there's different kiosks that you have to tap your key card on, and it will give you a code name, a mission, and different clues that you have to crack before you can move on to the next one. Of course, in between the kiosks, there are these amazing artifacts about the history of spying all around the world. This is actually the International Spy Museum, so it's interesting to see how other countries handled spying back in the day.
Personal emails, cat names. Metadata is all the tags that identify a message, but not the content.
In addition to your code name and mission, you are given a secret disguise. How cool is this? Oh my gosh, I want to be a spy.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
Once again, this was another really neat exhibit. It demonstrates all the difficulties and intricacies that the U.S. faced when eliminating Osama bin Laden. The entire simulation takes about 10 minutes, so obviously I've shortened it here, but everyone gathers around a table, you're given information, and you have to decide whether or not you should attack based on the information you were given.
Hi, I'm Michael Morrell. I was the Deputy Director of CIA and twice its Acting Director. I was with President Bush on 9/11, and I was with President Obama when we brought Osama bin Laden to justice. One of the hardest decisions I had to make was whether I thought bin Laden was in this compound or not. And before we gave our information to the President of the United States, we ran red teams at the CIA to try and shoot holes in our analysis and to try and identify who else could be living in this compound, if not bin Laden.
Okay, I know I said that last thing was my favorite, and well, the thing before that and the thing before that, but this was one of my favorites too. This was absolutely incredible. This was probably the most beautiful. It was a hologram exhibit about spying during the Revolutionary War.
Armed with this information, General Washington plots a diversion, drawing the British away from the incoming French fleet. This intelligence...
There's gonna be a new one.
The James Bond exhibit. Check out all these cool cars and boats from the James Bond movies. This is fun. I may be mistaken, but if I remember correctly, this was only like a $5 add-on per ticket to the International Spy Museum. Definitely do it. This was really cool. Alright, we are in an Uber headed to the airport, so our trip in DC is over, but
A lot of fun.
we did have a lot of fun. It was really awesome. So we got to see a lot of amazing American history and be a part of some American history. So it was a lot of fun. And now we have something else up our sleeves. So the fun's not over. We are headed back to Nashville to turn around and head somewhere else. In the snow. We're going to where the snow is.
Yeah. Tune
So-
in for our next episode.
See you in the snow, Florida. You got the duffel? See ya, thank you. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for next week's episode as we travel 7 hours south. 3 hours after we land from this trip.